Brooklyn-based company that is marketing a do-it-yourself kind of rape kit with the claim that it will help victims regain control and allows evidence collection to take place, quote, within the confines of a survivor's chosen place of safety. Well, the founders of the Me Too kit says that they believe that the documentation process largely deters victims from reporting the violent crimes to the correct authorities. But a state organization says using this kit is not going to help a victim. Survivors need to get justice, and they can't by using one of these kits. Organizations all across the country that help victims of assault are calling these kits, quote, not only morally, but legally irresponsible and completely misleading.
It feels really exploitive that someone is, this is a for-profit company that is going to be profiting off of victim survivors, and they are causing great harm.
Jude Foster works with MNCASA, the statewide forensic policy coordinator. I shortened that a little bit, Jude. I hope that's okay. Let's talk about why these kits are creating such a problem. And you said on Monday they just kind of blew up across the country.
Yeah, well, they've been blowing up in the last few days. There are a multitude of concerns about these kits, and I think some of the big ones are that we are concerned that victim survivors are guaranteed access to a free, competent, and compassionate medical forensic exam under the Violence Against Women Act and our own state statute, which is 609.35. And basically, victim survivors get to present at any emergency department, given an exam, and they don't have to report to law enforcement, and that exam is free. Also, across the state of Minnesota, in most communities, there are protocols between hospitals and victim advocacy. So victim advocacy is contacted immediately when the victim survivor arrives at the medical setting, so they can come in and provide advocacy for that victim. Obviously, with these at-home kits, that's not going to be happening. We want victim survivors to be interacting with medical professionals for overall health and well-being check-ins. We want there to be injury identification. We're also very concerned about prophylaxis for sexually transmitted infections, and also just interacting with a healthcare person on these issues. Another issue that has come up is that these kits would absolutely not be admissible in a court of law. There are very strict chain of custody procedures to make sure that the integrity of that evidence in that kit is pure, basically. And that's why these kits wouldn't be admissible in a court. We're also very concerned, again, these exams, any victim survivor can access free of charge. And we're very concerned that somebody is basically exploiting victim survivors and really exploiting the Me Too movement.
So is it that you want the manufacturer of these at-home kits to cease and desist, to stop marketing a certain way, all of it? What is it that you really want?
Well, I mean, because I work on medical forensic compliance issues in the state of Minnesota, I don't want these kits in Minnesota. I know that our state crime lab will not be accepting these. I have talked to law enforcement and prosecutors in the last few days. They are very concerned and very upset about this. So I don't want these kits in Minnesota at all, but I don't want them anywhere across the country.
So for victims, it's so hard for anybody who's been the victim of a sexual assault to report, we know this, to go in and to seek the help that they really need. So I can see where they would think, oh, an at-home kit, I can do this at home. I don't have to go in and talk to anybody and relive that. So that would be the plus side of it. But with everything that you were saying, none of it being admissible in court, you have to go in and see a medical professional.
Yeah, and I mean, in many communities, not all, but many communities in the state of Minnesota, we have what are called sexual assault nurse examiners. And these are nurses that are specially trained. They have to go through a 40-hour training, and there's a lot of onboarding that happens. These nurses are trauma informed. These nurses are victim centered, and they are very, very good at what they do. So I want victim survivors to be able to have that interaction with either a SANE nurse or a medical professional, again, so they're getting that compassionate care.
Do people have access to them here in Minnesota right now, so that if that is the case, I want people to see this and to know that it's really important where your stance is on this?
Yeah, at this point, the kits have not been released, so we know that this Me Too kit company has been targeting universities and colleges across the country. We know that the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus has been contacted. They will not be accepting these kits. We've heard that this company is going to be donating them to college campuses. I can't believe that an ethical Title IX coordinator would accept those kits. So we've been reaching out to colleges and universities across the state in Minnesota as well. But as of now, these kits, you can't order them yet.
The work that you're doing and that MNCASA does on behalf of victims is so incredibly important. I appreciate what you all do, and I hope a lot of people see this, because if anybody's a victim of a sexual assault, we hope they get the help that they need.
Thank you so much. And can I just add that victim survivors across the state, there is a website called, it's www.rapehelpmn.org, and that website can connect victim survivors to their local advocacy program. They can also call our office at 651-209-9993, and we can connect them to one of our member programs.
We'll put this information with this interview when we put it online as well, Jude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.